Sand, 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 sand. Yeah, no problem, man. But yeah, we've been going like an hour and a half. If you want, you could take a break or whatever. If your hands are getting sore or anything like that, or you gotta go to the washroom. Like, yeah, you guys want to talk shit? Watch this. Yeah. All right, man. Yeah. 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 Just in general, right? And that's the thing, right? Is you were trying to force the steering too hard, right? You weren't full braking in a straight line like you should be, right? You were trying to turn in before you finish braking, right? Especially with like turn one, I noticed that right away. I could just see that like you're trying to turn before you've slowed down to the proper speed, and then that in turn produces shitty trail braking and shitty rotation into the corner, and it's just, you know what I mean? It all just compounds, and if your entry's fucked, then your apex is fucked, and your exit's fucked, right? And it's just like slowing down the entry, taking the entry proper, and just being patient, right? So that way you hit the apex solid, and you get a decent exit with solid exit speed, right? And that's way more important than just like, you know what I mean? How fast can I fucking take this corner, right? Yeah, it's supposed to feel like slow motion and the car's floating and just taking its time, and you know what I mean? It doesn't feel like anything's forced. The car's cooperating with you, and that's what you need. Yeah, for no reason, right? Right? You end up being at the right speed and you're coming into the corner and everything's going good. But then you get like a false sense of security and then you start accelerating too soon and then you induce understeer on the apex or the exit and then it turns into a mistake when it was, you know what I mean, pretty much perfect. But it's just a little bit of, you know what I mean, a little bit of being antsy, a little bit of, you know, just needing a little bit more patience and allowing the car to roll and focusing on the exit speed and the momentum rather than I need to get on the throttle as early as possible, right? Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, and just by easing on the throttle and being patient, you'll get that much more out of it, right? And the car just cooperates that much more. Yeah. Yeah, it should feel like you're floating. It should feel like it's cooperating. No corner should feel like you have to turn the fucking wheel upside down to turn. Ever. You know what I mean? Like I get it, hairpins, but like still, you have to slow down to the proper corner speed for the hairpin, so that way when you turn the wheel upside down, the car actually reacts, right? Because there's a lot of people that just they don't do that. They're like, okay, I'm gonna go in here hot, too hot, and just crank the fuck out of the wheel, and then eventually it'll turn, right? But the whole time they're just understeering all the way through the corner, and then when they get on the throttle, it's super late, right? And they wonder why people are coming up on their inside on the exit and they smash into their quarter panel. It's like, well, that's why, because you have no exit speed, right? They try to go too hot in, too hot through the apex, and then just have no exit speed. And yeah, just being patient, slowing it down. You know what I mean? You'll be rewarded for patience and doing things right rather than trying to force it and be like, I can manhandle this. It's like, bro, 99% of shit, okay, you can manhandle it, right? You can just smash it with a fucking hammer and it'll work. You know? The TV fucks up, just smack the side of it. It works, right? You can't do that with a car. You can try, but like, eventually it's gonna bite you. It's gonna be like, no, I don't do that shit. Not happening. I let you get away with it long enough, and now I'm gonna fucking bite you in the ass for it. Yeah. Yeah, just do a couple laps where you take your time. Yeah, just do a couple 75% pace laps, right? Where you just focus on the apex and your corner speed and gliding, right? Take every corner entry and just chill and float. And you know what I mean? Just going a little bit slower and just focus on the apex exit part and really hauling ass out, right? And then into the next corner, going nice and slow, take your time, be patient. And then apex and exit, just fucking hammer on it, right? And really rip out of the corner. Yeah, it's a lot of just feeling out the G-forces and what the car actually wants to do. Feeling the tire threshold as you go through the corner. And just knowing, like, this is how much grip I have, right? And just being mindful of stuff like that. Knowing, like, this is my max steering angle and I can't turn any harder than this, or it's just going to push and understeer or oversteer, right? It's okay to load the weight on the outside tire, just don't exceed it. Especially for, like, high-speed corners. Like that corner, the sweeper coming up, as soon as you lean the weight outside that front tire, it just doesn't do shit. Just drags you out there. Did you remember to reset your brake balance when you came out of the pits again? I thought so. I could tell. I could tell by the way your car was rotating. I knew what brake balance you had, and I can't even see it. All right. Coming out of turn one, once you start coming across the road on exit, you can grab second gear. Like if you're having to lift a little bit too much near the end of first, just grab second. But just make sure the revs are kind of up there a little bit. Yeah, there you go. Solid. That point .5, it was so close too. You barely got it. Need to brake a little bit sooner. You got to turn in a little bit earlier too with that banking. Try to get on the inside curb. A little bit of sand. Coming down into that left-hander after the corkscrew, you just gotta hold like 10% brake till it starts to come in. Yeah. Yeah, just light brake, just to dip the nose down, just to coax it into the corner. But yeah, when you get a second, check your optimal. It should be a 23. I said when you get a second, check your optimal. Check your timing sheet. And just see. Yeah, just while you're on the track. Just cycle through like where your brake balance and traction control is. And it should be one of those pages. Yeah, keep going. Keep going. Yeah. That's your best. What's your optimal? What's the number below that? Ah, still close though. I know you can get in the 23s. I was running 23.1s consistently. Yeah. Yeah, so I know there's still a second there, you know what I mean? There's still a decent amount of time you can make up. I'd say the corkscrew definitely. Your corkscrew, you're losing a lot of time. And the exit of the corkscrew, I didn't really have to lift that much. Like I pretty much held full throttle in second gear all the way down the hill until I had to brake into the left-hand corner. Yeah, and try not to lift. I was getting you aren't cutting it as much as I was. Like I was really making sure to cut both apexes and really use like the max amount of road to risk getting a penalty. Yeah. Yeah, your turn one. Yeah. But yeah, your turn one's not bad. Turn two isn't bad. Turn three is all right. It's kind of hit or miss sometimes. Like sometimes you'll just miss the apex and go a little bit wide, or you'll turn late. Turn four, I think you can make up quite a bit of time just by getting to the inside a little bit earlier and getting on the throttle a little bit sooner, carrying out decent speed. The second last corner, you need to kind of lead the car in a little bit earlier and carry out more speed too there. Like you've been kind of losing a little bit of time where you're not really carrying out the full exit speed you should be and carrying it onto the exit curb. Yeah, you're kind of hit or miss there. Sometimes you hit it, sometimes you don't. Here you got to lead the car in a little bit earlier and get on the throttle early. Yeah, that corner you make up time. This corner you're doing pretty good. And then the corkscrew, you got to make sure you brake at the three board, come off the brakes. Yeah, you got to brake before that three board, before you go over the crest. And then when you roll through in first gear, you can carry a lot more speed at the apex. And then you'll have a lot more speed out, and you'll pick up that much more time in that one little section there. From like the time you come off the brakes until the time you brake again going into the left-hand corner down the hill. And then that left-hand corner down the hill, you just got to tuck it in a little bit more. And make sure you get on the inside curb every time. Yeah, like you can actually split that sausage curb. Yeah. That turn, you got to lead it in a little bit earlier, and you got to carry out more exit speed. Because you're rarely getting to the exit curb coming out of that corner. Like, it's okay, but it's not optimal. You can still get a little bit lower on the X or the apex curb and carry a little bit more speed out and a little bit more risk on the exit. Like, especially when we drive the BRZ around here, like I'm always touching the sand on the exit of that second last corner before the pit lane entry. I'll always have my left tires in the sand. But yeah, you just got to be careful because if you force it a little bit too much, you're just going to go around. Yeah, that right front's toast. But yeah, man, we've been going like 2 hours. You want to just call it there? Yeah, no problem, man. Huh? Uh, yeah, we can do a couple more laps. But yeah, I just want to get a coffee. Oh, fucking get up and stretch. Walk around. Oh. Before the three board. Before the three board. Before the crest. Back it up, back it up. Okay, so before that white line. Break before that white line that goes across in front of the three board. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, man, I recorded 2 hours. So I'm gonna upload them one at a time, just 1 hour at a time, and then I'll send them to you on Discord. And you can check them out. And then it's got like my lap in there and everything when I'm driving. You can see everything. Then you'll be able to go back and check it all. And then you'll be able to see like what you're doing and what I'm seeing while I'm like saying stuff. You know what I mean? You'll be able to rewatch it and kind of like, you know what I mean, refresh yourself while you're not driving. Yeah, the track's starting to get cold now too. Yeah, yeah, Hawco. Yeah, I'm gonna. I got the first hour, and then I got another hour after that, and then I'll just upload them both, and then I'll just have part one and part two, and then yeah, I'll send them to you on Discord, and then yeah, if you don't mind, then I'll put them public, and then everybody can watch it.